Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about my move to Atlanta and the journey it has been thus far. So if you are interested in hearing about my journey and if I regret moving to Atlanta, just keep on watching. So prior to coming to Atlanta last year, I have been to Atlanta several times, like to travel, to visit, because I have family here and I have friends here. So I've been to Atlanta. I know what it's like. First time I came here, I fell in love with Atlanta and I was like 21. And I knew that I wanted to live here. You know, I wanted to purchase a home here eventually. And when I do have a family, it is the place where I would want to raise my family, because Georgia is a great place to raise a family. So that is what I knew. It was like, okay, I know I'm gonna get there at some point, maybe not right now, but this was back in 2020, y'all. Let me tell you about manifestation. So in 2020, I said, in 2 years, I'm moving to Atlanta. Around 2022, I moved to Atlanta. So when I first came, it wasn't like a move. It was more like, we'll see. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna come for a minute. I'm gonna see what happens. I'm gonna give it a couple of months, stack some money, go home, come back. I ended up getting 3 job offers within my first week of being here. One I turned down because it was a conflict of interest. It was an insurance job, so it was like, why would I want to punch a clock to sell insurance when I can do it on my own, and I don't have to punch a clock. And then the second job I turned down was because it was a collections job, which collections, you know, it's not a problem, but it was $13 an hour and I had to show up like every day, and it was $10.99. So I was like, now that's not gonna work, because I'm not coming to work and then now I'll take taxes out of my check and I got paid. Absolutely not. And then I just took the job where I'm at now. I've been there for, it'll be a year in February. So the job that I accepted, I couldn't start till like a couple of weeks later. So when I got here, I was just like dashing in between to like pay bills or whatnot. And when I first moved here, I was staying with a friend, a long-time friend of mine, and I stayed with her for about 8 months until I moved. But I'm going to get into that whole moving process later in this video. So what has it taught me moving? Well, it has taught me that I can do it on my own, that I'm stronger than I think. You know, prior to coming here, I knew that if I stayed in Atlanta, everything was going to be on me. So I was gonna have to take care of myself, provide for myself 100%. It would be no help. So that was very scary for me, because it was like, I've never really done this before on my own, so I don't know how this don't go. But I was up for the challenge. And I had removed myself from my comfort zone, so I didn't have a safety net, I didn't have a safety blanket anymore. And honestly, I feel like I needed to do that, because it's been so rewarding doing that. Just like removing myself from my comfort zone. But it's definitely taught me that I could do it on my own, that I have more power than I think. And honestly, y'all, if I had to do it again, I would do it again, because it's been an amazing journey. But it has had some challenges. So some of the challenges that I experienced were more so mentally. It wasn't physically, because I was here, you know, I was fine. But mentally, I was transitioning. I was trying to let go of my past life for my new life, you know what I'm saying? And that was hard, because I was like, okay, I'm giving up the house where me and my mom stayed. I had to give up my dog. I was just like, I feel like I'm losing so much. And the closer it got to our lease ending at our house, I don't know, mentally I wasn't in a good space. And I feel like for that time period, for those months, I wasn't really the best friend to, you know, the people around me because I'm going through it mentally. One thing about being going through it mentally, it's something you can't shake, you know? It's like I'm going through it mentally and I can't shake it. So I feel like, you know, I wasn't, for that period, really a good friend because mentally I wasn't in the best headspace. And so I had to find a way to kind of cope with all of that. And I don't think I really found a way to cope with it. I feel like I just was like, you know what, it is what it is. I'm here, I made this decision, so we just gotta do what we gotta do, you know? So that's kind of where I was with it. And then I ended up moving in September, and how I prepared for my move was every time I would get paid, I was getting paid weekly. So every week I would get paid, I would take something out every week. When I got my taxes, I had put my taxes aside to go towards my move. And what really like helped me move was, the last thing that helped me move was we had got security deposit from our house, and that was like really pushed me to what I needed to move. So when I was looking for places out here in Atlanta, I was like shell shocked at the price. And I had seen the prices prior to moving. I was like, it's high. Like, Atlanta is not cheap like it used to be, girl. Like, it's expensive. A one bedroom, a decent one bedroom is about $1,300 to $1,400. And that's about maybe 800 square feet. A small apartment, and it depends on where you live. Like, if you live in I would say a more like suburban area. But even in just like places you don't consider suburbs, it's still that type of money. Now if you live in Midtown, Buckhead, stuff like that, of course you're gonna pay. And I was looking for places. It was one place I really wanted, but it was a little bit out of my price range, and they wanted you to be a year in your job. And what got me was like, why do I have to make 3 times the rent? Like, that makes no sense to me. But the place I'm at now, I toured it because I literally like passed it. And I was like, no, I ain't gonna go there. And I ended up coming, I took a day off, came here, saw it, and I was like, I'm gonna apply, and I ended up getting it approved. And I was able to move it was like 2 weeks later. Yeah, like 2 weeks later, I was able to move. It might have been 3, but I was able to move a couple of weeks after that. And, you know, I feel like that's when it started to really feel like home for me. Like, okay, I signed the lease here. I'm here now. Like, I ain't going nowhere. And I've made my space cozy to feel like home, because this is my home now. Like, when I go back home to Michigan, it's no home there. Like, if I go back to visit, I gotta figure out who I'm staying with. Am I getting a hotel? It's like, this is my home, so I had to make it a home. And some of the things I do like about being here in Atlanta is I love how it's a Black Hollywood, how people of color here are thriving. And it's like, if you want to be an entrepreneur, you could come here and be successful. All it takes is networking, and Atlanta is a city for networking, y'all. Like, you're gonna meet so many people out and about literally every single day, and you don't know like the walks of, you know, people walks of life, but you could meet somebody in the plane, like they just out in regular attire, and they have a successful company, or they work a really good job. And I would say that being here, I've met so many people and I've been able to network. And I love that about being in Atlanta, is that you can network. Another thing I like about Atlanta is it's so much to do here. So it's not like other places like back home, it ain't that much to do. Like the most you could do, go to the movies. You could go maybe, you know, to the mall, stuff like that. But here you got the mall, you got you got like places like Top Golf and all these different places you can go. It is so much you can do here, and I love that about being here. I love the weather, needless to say. Like it's raining today, but the weather's nice. It's no snow. It's a very mild winter compared to where I grew up and what I'm used to. So I love the winters here. And another thing I really love about Atlanta is just the people overall. I haven't met anybody mean out here. Like most people I've encountered are really, really nice. So I like the people, the Southern hospitality. I really do enjoy that. Now, some things I don't like about Atlanta is the traffic, of course. Depending on the time of day you drive, traffic is you know the rest, okay? Like, you better leave early, okay? You gotta go somewhere in this 30 minutes, leave an hour early, because you never know you're gonna get on that freeway. It could be anything that can happen that sets you back. And then that's the only thing I don't like is the traffic, and also the distance to get to places. Like how the distance to get to places out here is a little bit further. Like an average drive time in Atlanta is like 30 minutes. And it's like, what? But after a while you get used to, like now I'm used to driving 30 minutes everywhere. But at first it was like, this is just too far. But you know, after getting through that mental transition, being in a better space, you know, mentally, it was just like, do I regret moving here? Absolutely not. I would do it all over again because this was the best decision I made for myself. And I'm so glad that I took the leap of faith, because I feel like if I didn't take that leap of faith, that I would have just been stuck. And I'm glad I did move. And I would say to anybody that is moving or thinking about it, just go for it, because you never know. Like, I've been here a year and my life has changed dramatically in a year. And I'm doing things I didn't think that I would be doing, all because I moved. So if you are questioning moving, I say move. Of course, if it's somewhere you've never been, make sure you visit, make sure you like it before you just make that big step. But do make sure that you just go for it. What's the worst that can happen? You know, if you don't like it, go somewhere else. Like, you know, but I would say so far I've had nothing but a good experience here in Atlanta. And, you know, I'm home. Like, I'm not going nowhere. I would love to have places in other states, but Atlanta will always be like my main home, where my main home is. So I just wanted to really share my journey to maybe inspire somebody else to go out there and do it. And I know that Atlanta gets a bad rep, but Atlanta's really not a bad place. I feel like, you know, you have to say it. You have to kind of drown out what people say and just go do it for yourself. If you like it, you like it. Like, if somebody else don't like it, they have their reasons, but you go and you see if it's something that you like. So I have no regrets. I'm happy. I'm in a good space right now, and I really can't complain about much. So I would say it's definitely been a good move for me. So yeah, with all of that being said, you know, I'm really excited for my future to see, you know, what's gonna happen. Like this year, I'm really excited for, and the upcoming years. But I would, you know, say to anyone that is wanting to move, just do it, because I've been here a year and it's changed my life, and you can go somewhere and it can change your life as well. like a lot of times we operate in fear, like, you know, in fear, like, what do we fear? Like, we fear the unknown, we don't know what's gonna happen. But, you know, take a step out there and it will work out for you. Worst case, if you don't like somewhere, you could just go, you know, go to another place, go back home or find somewhere to move. Like, you know, that's the good thing about, you know, living in the USA. You know, you got all these states to choose from. So if you go to Texas, you don't like it, okay, go find somewhere else to live. So, yeah, I believe it's a life hack. You know, it's that life hack that you don't know you need sometimes. Like, you're like, what do I need? Like, and it's, you know, you go do that change of scenery, and that completely changes everything. That's what it could be for you. So, I just hope that my journey is inspirational to other people, because guys, it has been far from easy, but it is doable. And as long as you never give up, as long as you know, always keep a strong mind, and you know, you just keep pushing forward to whatever goals you want to do, you'll be able to accomplish it. So that is it for today's video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe. I'm getting serious about my YouTube this year, so subscribe, because I do have more content that will be coming, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.